Welcome to a journey through the planet's most unbelievable wonders. From the towering cliffs of Ireland to the floating castle in the Sea of France. Places once thought to exist only in legends now come vividly to life before your eyes. And the journey doesn't stop there. From the snow-covered village of Ubeng, hidden deep in Tibet, to the thunderous roar of Niagara Falls, where humans become nothing more than a fragile speck against nature's raw power. Temples floating in the ancient clouds of China, glowing amidst the purple peaks of Fanjingshan, then falling silent before the stone labyrinth of Vadzia, where an entire kingdom once hid within the mountains. And still, countless mysteries wait to be revealed. Are you ready to continue this journey into wonders beyond imagination? Mont Saint-Michel is one of Europe's most stunning and surreal places, built on a rocky island standing alone in the open sea. When the fast tide rises like a galloping horse, the island separates from the land and becomes a floating castle in the ocean. The abbey was built in the 8th century and took hundreds of years to complete using only human hands, standing firm through centuries. Its architecture forms an upside-down pyramid, with the sacred areas at the top and everyday life settled in the lower sections. Throughout history, it has been an abbey, a fortress, a prison, and a lasting symbol of spiritual strength. No modern vehicles are allowed inside the center, so visitors must explore its narrow stone paths by walking with their own 2 feet. Niagara Falls is one of the most famous waterfalls in the world, located between the United States and Canada. The waterfall is about 167 feet high and flows with around 85,000 gallons of water every second, which makes a loud and powerful natural sound. When the sun shines, the mist from the falls often makes beautiful rainbows. It is also a big source of hydroelectric power that gives energy to both the United States and Canada. In winter, some parts may freeze, but the water still keeps flowing. Fanjingshan Temple is perched on a mountain more than 7,500 feet high, seen as a gate between Earth and the spiritual world. Two separate temples stand on sharp mountain peaks, linked by a narrow bridge across a deep cliff that can make anyone shiver. A legend says that those who dream of the temple 3 times in a row are chosen by heaven to seek spiritual awakening there. Civita di Bagnoregio is an ancient village built on soft rock that is slowly collapsing due to serious erosion over time. People can only reach the village by crossing a bridge over 1,000 feet long through a deep valley with no road for cars. The permanent population is fewer than 20 people, but hundreds of thousands of tourists visit every year to admire its special ancient beauty. Many buildings in the village have foundations over 20,500 years old that have stayed unchanged through the centuries. Each morning, thick fog covers the area, making the village appear to float in the sky, creating a surreal and magical sight. Though called the Dying City, Civita continues to stand strong as a symbol of resilience and the fragile beauty of history. Vadzia is a stone monastery carved by hand into a steep cliff, stretching nearly 1,600 feet, with many levels of impressive cave chambers. The monastery had over 600 rooms, including chapels, living spaces, storage, wine cellars, and secret tunnels for movement during wartime. A major earthquake once collapsed the front side, accidentally exposing the entire structure and showing its strange and massive layout. Many murals from the 12th century are painted directly on rock, showing scenes of daily life and ancient royal symbols. The surroundings are dry, dark-colored mountains, making the monastery feel like a hidden underground world in harsh nature. Some monks still live and meditate in the original cave rooms, keeping the religious lifestyle unchanged for hundreds of years. Waitomo Glowworm Caves is a one-of-a-kind cave system where thousands of glowing creatures make the ceiling look like a starry sky deep underground. The strange thing is that the light does not come from adult fireflies, but from glowing larvae that attract prey into sticky threads hanging in the dark. The cave is so quiet that people can hear water drops echo from many feet away like whispered voices. At times, when there is a loud noise, the entire light system can go dark at once, as if reacting to the outside world. This sight makes many visitors lose track of time, and feel like they entered another world. There is a strange legend saying that if someone sits quietly and stares at the cave ceiling long enough, they might see memories they had forgotten long ago. Fingal's Cave is a legendary basalt sea cave in Scotland, only reachable by boat on calm days, making it one of the hardest natural wonders to access in Europe. The cave is made from natural hexagonal basalt columns, formed by lava cooling millions of years ago, creating a pattern so perfect it looks man-made. It is a rare site for geological studies and a cultural symbol in Celtic mythology that inspired classical music and European poetry. The echo inside the cave, mixed with dim natural light, creates a strange sound effect, making visitors feel like they are inside an ancient cathedral. Fingal's Cave stands out for its mix of raw nature, ancient legends, and unique acoustic space found nowhere else. This is a place that takes people beyond reality and awakens deep respect and reflection toward the natural world. The baobab tree is famous for its massive, rounded trunk, which can reach heights of over 100 feet. It is a distinctive tree of Madagascar and is called the Tree of Life due to its ability to store water in its trunk to survive in dry environments. The baobab can live for thousands of years and is a symbol of strength and resilience in harsh conditions. The tree's parts, such as its fruit and bark, are used by indigenous people in traditional medicine and food preparation. Additionally, the baobab plays an important role in the ecosystem by providing water for animals and plants in arid regions. Visitors to Madagascar can take tours to admire the magnificent baobab trees, especially at sunset, when the scene becomes mystical and impressive. Petra is a famous ancient city in Jordan, built over 2,000 years ago by the Nabateans. The special thing is that all the buildings were carved directly into sandstone cliffs, not built with bricks or walls. The color of the rock changes with the sunlight during the day, creating a very unique natural scene. The city is hidden between deep canyons and tall rock walls, about 260 feet high, giving it natural protection and mystery. Petra covers dozens of square miles, not just one small ruin, but a full system of temples, tombs, houses, and old markets. Petra was named one of the new 7 wonders of the world in 2007 and is the biggest cultural symbol of Jordan. It has been shown in many famous movies and is a dream destination for millions of people who love history and adventure. Cliffs of Moher is one of the most famous natural wonders in Ireland, known for its steep cliffs that rise over 700 feet and stretch about 9 miles along the coast. The cliffs were formed around 300 million years ago through natural sediment and erosion over millions of years. Layers of sandstone and shale create a unique geological structure with strong and artistic natural beauty. There are no large man-made buildings, but the pure natural beauty still attracts millions of people. Today, Cliffs of Moher is an important natural tourism symbol of Ireland, and also a site for geology and marine environment research. Strict conservation efforts are in place to protect its beauty and ecosystem for future generations. Ubeng is a village located about 9840 feet high in the snowy mountains, completely cut off from modern roads. It is one of the rare places that still keeps its natural culture and landscape, where people live in full harmony with nature. Ubeng holds deep cultural value as a sacred land in Tibetan belief and is a pilgrimage site for those seeking spiritual connection and inner journey. The area offers valuable conditions to study high mountain climate, cold forest ecosystems, and survival adaptation of communities in harsh environments. The rarity of Ubeng comes not just from its hard-to-reach location, but also from the local effort to preserve its silence and sacredness. Those who have visited Ubeng often say it gives a deep awakening feeling and a strong connection to nature and to themselves. Hallstatt is one of the oldest settlements in Europe, where people have lived for over 7,000 years between tall mountains and a peaceful lake. This village was once the center of an Iron Age culture so important that it gave its name to a period across Europe. Its scenery is both wild and peaceful, with wooden houses stacked near the water and reflected perfectly like a painting in the calm lake surface. Some houses are hundreds of years old and still kept just as they were, with mossy wood roofs and balconies full of flowers every season. Hallstatt was once completely isolated, only reachable by boat or narrow paths, which helped preserve its untouched beauty through many centuries. Although famous worldwide, the village has only a few hundred residents who seem to live inside a quiet postcard in real life. Machu Picchu, located between the Andes in Peru, is one of the most impressive natural and man-made wonders in the world. The architecture of Machu Picchu is a masterpiece, with tightly fitting stone walls built without mortar. This makes the structure durable and able to withstand earthquakes. Machu Picchu was once a place of worship for the Inca civilization, and according to legend, it was also a connection point between humans and the gods. The mysterious story surrounding Machu Picchu is that it was abandoned after the Spanish invasion in the 16th century and was forgotten until it was rediscovered in 1911. The disappearance of Machu Picchu is partly due to natural factors such as earthquakes, and the increase in tourism could diminish the sustainability of the site. Meteora Caves settlements were once home to hermits who lived alone in high mountain caves, hundreds of feet above the ground, fully separated from the world. They built nothing, only finding small stone shelters where some caves were just big enough for one person to sit quietly for years. To reach the caves, they used ropes, wooden ladders, or climbed the steep rock walls with no fixed paths or safety systems. Many caves were so high and hidden that you couldn't see them from the ground. They looked like they had melted into the cliffs. Strong winds at that height made every move dangerous, especially when lifting food or water up by rope. The whole area felt like a floating world, where humans tested the deepest limits of isolation and unshakable faith. Taung Kalat Monastery sits on top of an extinct volcano about 2,400 feet high, making the whole structure look like it's floating in the wide-open sky. Pilgrims must climb 777 narrow stone steps that wind up the mountain, making the journey feel like a stairway to the heavens. The entire monastery was built by hand without modern tools, gripping the steep rock without using flat foundations like normal buildings. From far away, the monastery looks like a golden crown rising from the sky and green plains, creating an unforgettable, surreal view. The sound of temple bells echoes through the air, mixing with the silence of nature to create a powerful and mysterious feeling. An old legend says this place was once sacred to the gods of the volcano, making visitors feel a deep sense of awe and reverence. Las Lajas Sanctuary is built on a stone bridge crossing a canyon about 150 feet deep between tall cliffs and a fast-moving river below. Its grey and white Gothic design stands out against the deep green forest of the Andes, creating a view both powerful and dreamlike. When morning light shines through the mist, the whole church appears to glow, giving visitors the feeling of seeing a surreal building in nature. A picture of the Virgin and Child behind the main altar is not painted, but naturally shown on the rock, and still unexplained. People believe this holy place can heal sickness and offer protection from the divine when prayers are made with true faith. On misty nights, some say they hear prayers coming from the canyon even when no one is inside the church, like a spiritual answer. The Sumela Monastery sits on a vertical cliff about 4,000 feet high, appearing to be directly attached to the sky above a deep, forested valley. This ancient monastery was once thought impossible to build, since all materials were carried up by ropes and human effort. The murals inside still show vivid colors after over 1,000 years, even after harsh weather and periods of war. It was closed for 90 years, yet remained undamaged, as if time had no effect on its mysterious structure. Visitors must hike along a steep mountain path to reach the monastery, making each visit feel like a true spiritual journey. Its structure has no fixed foundation and is built directly into the cliff, staying strong for centuries without modern tools. A legend says those who sleep overnight here will dream of the future, adding more mystery for devoted visitors. Cliff Palace is one of the most famous cliff dwellings in the US, built in the 12th century by the ancient Puebloans. This is a testament to the impressive building skills of ancient civilizations, with rooms and stairways constructed on a cliff about 100 feet high, protecting the inhabitants from external threats. The structure is not only special due to its location, but also due to its exquisite building technique, using stone and fired bricks to create strong walls. This ancient dwelling was home to about 150 people, a close-knit community that lived and worked in a unique, enclosed space. After being abandoned in the late 13th century, possibly due to climate change and resource depletion, Cliff Palace still stands resilient through time, attracting visitors to this day. Ait Ben Haddou is an ancient clay complex on a hill about 100 feet high, surrounded by dry desert and built in an impressive stepped layout. The whole site is made from sun-dried clay and straw, with watchtowers, arched gates, and carved walls in a traditional Berber style. This fortress was once a key stop for desert caravans carrying gold, salt, and mysterious legends along their journey. Locals say a sorcerer hid his soul in a bronze jar buried under the basement of an old house on the eastern side. On moonless nights, those who enter the basement without permission are said to hear whispers and feel a cold breath on their neck. One man who touched the jar claimed he blacked out and woke up miles away, with no memory of what happened during the night. Paro Jong is a symbolic fortress monastery built completely by hand, without using iron nails or any kind of modern glue or cement. The structure sits on a steep mountainside, serving both as a peaceful monastery and a strategic defense point for the land below for hundreds of years. Its red-tiled roof is placed by hand without glue, but still stands strong against heavy winds and the harsh weather of the highlands. The thick stone walls reach dozens of feet high and are built so tightly that a single sheet of paper cannot fit between the joints. The religious artwork on the walls is fully hand-painted without industrial paint and takes many weeks to complete even the smallest detail. Paro Jong is not just ancient architecture, but a living symbol of faith, craftsmanship, and harmony with Bhutan's natural world. Shibam is the world's first city, with mud brick towers up to 11 stories high, built completely by hand many hundreds of years ago. All buildings are made from mud and straw bricks without steel or concrete, yet they still stand strong in the harsh desert heat. The entire city is planned in a grid pattern, which was an advanced urban layout for the time it was built. Its brown towers rise into the sky like a forest of ancient skyscrapers, blending old beauty with a surreal desert view. Residents still hand repair walls and apply lime regularly, seeing it as their duty to protect heritage from their ancestors. Shibam remains a proud, mud brick city in the modern world, showing how simple materials can become a lasting symbol of human strength. Himeji Castle was built in the 17th century and still stands today, untouched by war, fire, or earthquakes. The castle shines bright white and is often called a flying white heron, symbolizing purity and lasting strength. The entire structure is made from wood, using tight-fitting joints with no steel or modern cement needed. Inside is a maze of halls and stairs designed to confuse enemies, making them lost and disoriented if they break in. Hidden holes for shooting arrows and pouring oil are built into the soft design, balancing beauty with smart defense. In spring, the castle looks magical as its white shape blends with the pink blossoms blooming across the sky. Uchisar Castle is a natural rock fortress carved into a volcanic mountain about 200 feet high, looking like a giant ant nest rising into the sky. Inside the castle is a network of tunnels, rooms, wells, and halls that were dug by hand over many generations. The passages were made to catch light through cracks in the stone, keeping the space bright without using windows like normal houses. The top of the castle is the tallest point in the region, perfect for watching miles around and sending smoke or light signals. No modern material was used here, only volcanic rock, and ancient carving skills were needed to build this high mountain fortress. Today, even though most of it is no longer used, the structure still stands strong as proof of survival and old-world craftsmanship. Simian mountain villages are over 13,000 feet high, where people must survive in thin air, thick fog, and some of the roughest terrain in Africa. The villagers build homes using only dry stones, with no cement or machines, relying on handcraft passed down through many generations. To reach these villages, people walk along steep cliffs, deep gorges, and narrow trails where no modern vehicle can enter. A local legend says ancient spirits guard the mountaintops and will stop strangers who try to climb without permission. Some visitors have experienced altitude sickness or gotten lost in the thick mist without any technology to help. The landscape is so untouched that clouds often flow right into the homes each morning, making it feel like living inside the sky. The monasteries on Mount Athos sit thousands of feet above sea level, hanging along cliffs with dense green forests stretching below. The ancient buildings with Byzantine domes, thick stone walls, and tall bell towers create a quiet and isolated view in untouched nature. All of the structures were built by hand over 1,000 years without machines, becoming a masterpiece of human faith and endurance. From afar, the monasteries seem to float in the air, glowing in the sunlight on white rock, like something out of a dream. A legend says the Virgin Mary once landed here by boat and declared the mountain to be her holy garden. Aogashima is the only village in the world built entirely inside a double volcanic crater in the middle of the ocean, creating an unreal and isolated view. The cliffs surrounding the village rise over 650 feet tall, and constant fog makes the area feel like it floats in another world. With no airport or major port, visitors must come by helicopter or small boats, depending fully on rough weather conditions. Locals use natural geothermal steam to cook and stay warm without needing modern electric appliances like in regular life. Aogashima was once abandoned after a volcanic eruption, but some people returned, choosing to live with danger to protect their roots. Valparaiso is famous for houses built vertically on cliffs hundreds of feet high, looking like they float between the sky and sea. The landscape is unique, with colorful rooftops clinging to steep hills above deep blue ocean, forming a vivid three-dimensional view. Locals use mountain cable lifts from the 19th century to travel between urban levels instead of using traditional roads. Many houses are handmade with recycled wood and scrap metal, showing strong creativity and self-reliance in daily life. Despite dangerous slopes and fire risks, residents bravely stay and treat the cliff as a natural extension of their homes. Taos Pueblo is an ancient settlement made from red adobe, lived in continuously for over 1,000 years by indigenous people. The multi-level buildings rise up to 5 stories high, built entirely with clay, straw, and water without metal frames or concrete. Residents refuse to use electricity, plumbing, or modern systems to preserve their traditional lifestyle passed down from ancient ancestors. Each house is hand-maintained and coated with natural-colored earth, showing pride in their traditional architectural art. Kalavantan is an ancient fort located on a rocky mountain over 2,300 feet high, known for its dangerous climb without any safety system. The stone steps are carved directly into the mountain, steep and slippery, only wide enough for one person to walk through, creating a heart-racing feeling. From the top of the fort, the view of mountains and clouds is majestic, overwhelming anyone who reaches the summit. Ahmadiyya Plateau Village is an ancient village located on top of a flat rock plateau, completely separated from the world below, feeling like an oasis in the sky. The village is called a floating city in the sky because the entire settlement rises from a sliced mountaintop, surrounded by cliffs and open space on all sides. From the edge of the plateau, you can see the full valley and mountains around, creating a grand and breathtaking view. Despite wars and chaos, Ahmadiyya still stands strong as a symbol of people living in harmony with tough landscapes and long history. Socotra is an isolated place with a strange ecosystem where over 37% of plants exist nowhere else on Earth. Locals live among dragon blood trees shaped like upside-down umbrellas that produce red sap used as medicine since ancient times. Settlements are built between sharp rock mountains and white sand deserts, making it feel like living on a still unknown alien planet. The native language has been passed down for generations and has no connection to any modern spoken language. Many species look bizarre, evolved on their own for millions of years, and are called living fossils of the present day. People still depend fully on nature, surviving through wind, rain, and harsh natural resources in their ancient way of life. Rovinj is a coastal town with deep historical roots that was once an isolated island before being connected to the mainland. What makes it special is that old houses were built directly on the cliff edge, where sea waves can hit the ground floor windows. Many walls still show traces of coral and seashells, proving that builders used raw sea stones in construction. An artistic atmosphere fills the air, as many painters live here and believe the light and watercolors in Rovinj are deeply emotional. This place is also known for strange natural phenomena, like mysterious green lights at night and a gentle light swirl at sunset. Even though it feels modern at times, Rovinj still preserves a quiet, timeless charm, like a perfect slice of history frozen in place. Kolchak Lake is a freshwater lake at around 534 feet high, surrounded by steep mountains and ancient pine forests, forming a striking natural fortress. The lake's crystal-clear water reflects the sky and peaks, creating a painting-like scene that surprises even the most seasoned travelers. Covering nearly 88 acres, the lake's unique turquoise color gives a mysterious and calm atmosphere unlike anywhere else. The surrounding landscape features massive rocks, old pine trees, and a quiet stillness that feels untouched by time. During summer, hundreds of hikers take on the difficult trail to witness a beauty not easily found elsewhere. The mix of surreal beauty and total seclusion makes this place feel like another world hidden in the American wilderness. Jellyfish Lake is a special saltwater lake where millions of golden jellyfish live in a habitat entirely separated from the outer ocean. The jellyfish here have evolved over thousands of years to lose their stinging ability, allowing people to swim safely among them. The lake has two distinct layers of water, with the top rich in oxygen and the bottom filled with deadly hydrogen sulfide if you dive too deep. When sunlight passes through the water, the shimmering jellyfish appear like glowing dots in a mystical scene that leaves everyone in awe. This lake serves as a perfect miniature model for isolated evolution, receiving strong recognition from scientists around the world. Even a tiny amount of chemical can alter the lake's highly sensitive biological balance and endanger this extraordinary natural wonder. Amethyst Lake is a mountain lake at about 9,800 feet high, known for its light purple water and otherworldly, surreal landscape. In the early morning, the surface sometimes turns a soft violet without any signs of algae or mineral coloring. The lake is surrounded by granite and quartz cliffs, creating a silence so deep that many feel like time has stopped. With its mystical beauty and unexplainable events, Amethyst Lake inspires many theories about magnetism, light, and altered perception of space. Lawudo Gompa is a Buddhist monastery located in isolation at an elevation of about 12,000 feet in the Himalayas, making it extremely hard to reach. This site stands out for preserving the ancient Tibetan Buddhist tradition and deep meditation practices passed down through generations. The monastery is linked to the reincarnation story of a lama, viewed by followers as a profoundly sacred spiritual symbol. Without any loud promotions or tourist traffic, Lawudo remains hidden, in line with a philosophy meant only for true spiritual seekers. What makes this place unique is its complete silence, where even sounds seem absorbed by the clouds, awakening deep awareness in each person. Lake Natron is one of the most dangerous and strange lakes in the world, known for its blood-red color and its ability to turn animals to stone. The water can reach up to 120 degrees F, and the pH level rises to 10.5, creating extreme conditions that can cause chemical burns on human skin. Animals that land on the water often get mummified in nearly perfect shape, which is a shocking and rare event in nature. Yet this place is the only breeding ground for a type of flamingo that lives and hatches chicks where few other species can survive. Some photographers describe this lake as another planet, where art and death live side by side. Because of its unique terrain, NASA once used this area to simulate conditions on Mars, showing its appeal beyond Earth. Keystone Canyon is a deep mountain gorge in Alaska, known for its towering cliffs and powerful waterfalls flowing year-round. Its rugged terrain and harsh weather, especially in winter when thick snow and ice cover the area, make it extremely hard to access. The canyon holds historical value, once connected to the expansion efforts in the American frontier. It is also a perfect site for geological studies with ancient rock layers and rare frozen waterfall phenomena. The canyon's rarity and untouched state make it special, offering only the pure sounds of nature without tourist crowds. The silence and the contrast between soft-flowing water and massive rocks create a deep emotional impact for visitors. Chingi de Bemaraha is a sharp limestone region formed millions of years ago as rain eroded ancient stone into a maze of cliffs over hundreds of feet tall. The dense and steep rock formations create a stone forest called Tingi, meaning a place where one cannot walk barefoot. Its surreal beauty comes when light shines into the deep gaps, creating magical effects like another world. What few people know is that the ecosystem in Singi is almost isolated, with lemurs, reptiles, and plants that only live there and adapt to limestone. Local legends say the stone crevices are homes to ancestral spirits, and some areas remain sacred and forbidden to enter. Chingi de Bemaraha is now a UNESCO World Heritage Site and is strictly protected. Potash Ponds is a group of man-made lakes in the dry desert of Utah, known for its vibrant colors and isolated location. Reaching this area is not easy because it lies deep within rugged sandstone terrain, surrounded by rocky hills and rough dirt roads. Scientifically, it is a site for extracting potassium chloride, a key mineral in agriculture. The lakes are filled with salty water, which evaporates under the sun, leaving behind crystallized minerals after several weeks. The vivid lake colors come from additives that help absorb heat and speed up evaporation. Its beauty is not widely known and remains hidden due to limited access and low promotion. Rattlesnake Ledge is a steep rock ledge about 1,160 feet tall, standing out in the wild forest with a stunning and captivating view. On clear days, you can see a wide view of forests, clouds, and water reflecting like a mirror, making you feel like floating in the sky. When fog rolls in, the whole area is covered in thick white mist, making people feel pulled into an invisible world. Some devices like drones and phones often have location errors near the edge of the rock. The name rattlesnake does not come from snakes, but from wind sounds through the cracks that sound like hissing. On full moon nights, light shining through the rock forms strange glowing eye shapes. Kokora Valley is famous for its giant wax palm trees, which can reach over 200 feet tall, creating a magical landscape amid Colombia's wild nature. This is the only place in the world where visitors can see these trees growing naturally in a colorful tropical environment. The landscape here is not only marked by towering palms, but also by drifting clouds, creating a constantly changing nature scene. Kokora Valley is also an ideal destination for hiking enthusiasts, with trails that wind through lush tropical forests. However, what makes this place special is the mysterious nature, with rapidly changing weather phenomena and a feeling of being watched in the vast space. This is not only a place to admire the beauty of nature, but also a location deeply rooted in the spiritual and mysterious heritage of Colombia. Owl Creek Pass is one of the most stunning destinations in Colorado, famous for its beautiful landscapes and fresh air. It is especially known for the magical transition between ecosystems, from lush forests to barren cliffs. In the summer, the area is adorned with vibrant wildflowers, creating a lively splash of colors in the wild nature. This place is also known for strange phenomena that make many visitors feel like there is a mysterious presence. The sunset at Owl Creek Pass is one of the most wonderful moments, as sunlight shines through the mountain peaks, creating a mystical and enchanting view. Moreover, this is one of the least exploited areas, maintaining its pristine and tranquil beauty, attracting nature lovers seeking peace in the mountains. Fugtal Monastery is one of the most remote and majestic monasteries in the world, built on a vertical cliff and surrounded by wild nature. Its architecture looks like a beehive clinging to a rock wall, making visitors feel deeply connected to the spirit of the earth. The most unique part is a natural cave at the center of the monastery, where an underground spring flows from an unknown source. According to legend, this water came from a miracle by an ancient master who made this cave a sacred place for meditation. The monastery serves not only as a spiritual center, but also as a school and a traditional medicine clinic for local communities. Efforts to preserve the site include the use of solar electricity, which helps the monastery stay sustainable in harsh conditions. Xargelane is one of the most mysterious oases on the edge of the Sahara Desert, where a hot spring flows non-stop all year. Strangely, no one knows the exact source of the spring, and locals believe it began from the tears of an ancient warrior. The scenery is a contrast between the burning yellow sand and the fresh green palms, creating the feeling of a real mirage. At sunset, the sunlight appears to split into two layers, with one floating above ground and disappearing after just a few minutes. Some people have reported a strange loss of time when their watches and the natural light no longer matched. The sand here is believed to absorb sound, making even small noises vanish and leaving only absolute silence in the heart of the desert. Rosario Beach is a rocky shoreline in Washington, known for its moss-covered boulders, clear water, and an almost perfect atmosphere of silence. When the sunset light passes through the rocks and water, the entire scene looks like a mesmerizing abstract painting. Some visitors reported feeling slightly disoriented or experiencing mood shifts near large stones with strange patterns resembling ancient symbols. Sometimes, the crashing waves create rhythmic sounds that feel like a nameless song, as if nature itself is telling a hidden story. People have claimed to hear faint, whisper-like sounds near the shoreline, even though there was no wind and no one nearby. Rosario Beach is more than a place to relax. It's where many feel the thin line between reality and the spiritual world. Takin rainforest is one of the largest untouched rainforests in the world, preserving an ancient ecosystem rarely influenced by human activity. With thousand-year-old trees and thick moss covering the forest floor, the area feels like stepping back into prehistoric times. Some visitors have reported feeling watched in total silence, even though there were no signs of life around them. In the early morning, thick fog creates mirror-like reflections between treetops and the ground, causing many to feel disoriented. Navigation devices sometimes malfunction or lose signal deep in the forest, as if the area has an unusual magnetic field. Tarkine is more than a forest. It is a symbol of biological memory, where nature has remained unchanged for millions of years. Thompson Pass has the heaviest snowfall in the United States, with a record reaching nearly 984 inches during one winter season. On extremely cold days, temperatures can drop below -50 degrees Fahrenheit. Yet sunlight still shines through fog and creates rainbow-colored halos. Some people have reported seeing dark figures passing through the snow without leaving any tracks behind. Sometimes, snow reflects light at special angles, making the whole landscape look upside down like a massive natural mirror. Automatic cameras have captured strange, floating light streaks at dawn that cannot be explained by normal physics. Thompson Pass is not just a cold place, but also a land-breathing mystery and realities beyond human understanding. Granite Creek Falls is a waterfall set among granite mountain terrain, where untouched wilderness creates a scene both wild and deeply peaceful. The waterfall drops from dozens of feet high, echoing like earth drums, while mist creates an atmosphere that feels ancient. Winds from the falls carry moist air and strange deep sounds, making people feel the raw rhythm of nature. At certain times, morning sunlight reflects on wet rock surfaces and forms illusions of paths leading into stone walls. A rare phenomenon of a standing rainbow has lasted over 20 minutes without rain or high humidity. Granite Creek Falls is more than just a waterfall. It is a place where beauty, mystery, and unknown energy come together. Kalsoy is a long, narrow island formed by ancient volcanic activity and sea wind erosion, creating steep cliffs and grassy ridges stretching to the horizon. The cold and wet weather all year keeps the landscape quiet and foggy, with thick mist making everything feel mysterious in the early morning. This place is known for its wild beauty and the strong feeling of being completely separated from the modern world. One strange thing many people mention is the feeling of invisible eyes watching them, especially when standing on high rocks looking out to the sea. The legend of the seal woman adds to the mystery. The story tells of a seal spirit once captured by humans, whose voice still echoes from the cliffs. Kalsoy is now strictly protected, with limited visitors and a rule of no waste to help preserve the island's natural and mystical beauty. Kachemak Bay State Park is the first state park in Alaska and covers about 625 square miles with a dramatic mix of coasts, forests, glaciers, and snowy mountains. The park has a special ecosystem with over 125 species of fish, many marine mammals, and hundreds of invertebrates living in the wild. Its twisted rock formations show a long history of powerful geological forces that helped shape the area's majestic beauty. Tide zones filled with starfish, crabs, and other sea creatures act like a living museum of the ocean. A real story happened when a woman survived after falling into an ice lake by holding onto the body of a snowshoe hare. The park is being protected with new efforts to expand public access and keep the natural environment untouched. Danakil Depression is one of the hottest and harshest places on Earth, located about 400 feet below sea level. With average temperatures often above 120 degrees F, there is almost no life here, creating a surreal environment. Danakil is like a natural lab because it can simulate the conditions of other planets, especially Mars. This area has hot springs, acid lakes, and active volcanoes, all rare to find together in one location. Because of extreme conditions, reaching this place is very difficult, requiring special vehicles to cross dry deserts. Its landscape is so unique that people feel like they are stepping into an alien world, full of bright colors and strange shapes. Lake Hillier is one of the most unusual saltwater lakes in the world, famous for its mysterious, natural pink color that remains unexplained. The lake is about 2,000 feet long and 820 feet wide, surrounded by forest and separated from the ocean by a strip of white sand. The lake was discovered in 1802 and was once used for salt harvesting, but the effort stopped due to unsuitable conditions. Pilot Rock is a volcanic rock formation about 570 feet tall, formed around 25 million years ago when magma cools beneath Earth's surface. Over millions of years, softer rocks around it eroded away, revealing a hard vertical structure with long cracks from fast cooling. It stands out not just for its dramatic shape, but also as a meeting point for multiple ecosystems that support rare plants and birds. Indigenous people once called it the rock standing up and viewed it as a sacred place, tied to spiritual rituals. During the 19th century migration, this rock served as a major landmark, guiding travelers across the wild landscape. Today, the area is carefully protected, especially during peregrine falcon nesting season, and attracts hikers and nature lovers. Emigrant Lake is a man-made reservoir created in 1924 when a dam about 204 feet tall was built for flood control and irrigation. The lake has a surface area of about 1 square mile and sits at an elevation of 2,241 feet above sea level, surrounded by gentle hills and quiet nature. The lake offers peaceful scenery with calm water reflecting blue skies, making it ideal for outdoor activities like swimming, boating, and camping. One special thing is that during drought seasons, the water level drops and reveals remains of old structures like building foundations and a former cemetery. Many people believe there are still hidden relics buried deep under the lake's surface. As climate change increases drought risks, conservation efforts are being made to maintain water quality and protect the local ecosystem. Seychelles is an archipelago located in the Indian Ocean, known for its white sandy beaches and crystal-clear waters. Seychelles is home to a rich ecosystem with many endemic species of plants and animals, such as giant tortoises and rare bird species. The pristine rainforests and coral reefs create a stunning natural environment. Seychelles' history is intertwined with the influences of France and Britain before the country gained independence in 1976. With its diverse culture, Seychelles is heavily influenced by African, French, British, and Indian cultures. Visitors to Seychelles can enjoy various activities such as swimming, diving, hiking through the forest, and exploring unique cultural heritage. Greenland is the largest island in the world, covering an area of about 836,005 square miles. With more than 80% of its area covered by ice, Greenland has a majestic and pristine natural landscape. Greenland is an ideal place to view the northern lights in winter, with vibrant lights in the night sky. Although there are no large trees, Greenland's ecosystem is still rich with wildlife and plants that thrive in harsh conditions. Despite having a population of only about 56,000 people, Greenland is home to huge national parks, such as Greenland National Park, the largest national park in the world. Greenland is also known for its long summer days when the sun doesn't set, creating the fascinating phenomenon of the midnight sun. Snow-covered beaches and drifting icebergs provide a magical setting for visitors to explore. Masai Mara is a famous nature reserve in Kenya, known for its wide grasslands and wild scenery. It is home to rare animals like lions, elephants, rhinos, and antelopes. From July to October, millions of antelopes and zebras migrate across the plains and cross the river, creating a powerful natural scene. The area has been lived in and protected by the Maasai people for a long time. They live in harmony with nature and keep their cultural traditions alive. With an area of about 580 square miles, this place is important for nature protection and tourism development. Maldives is an island country in the Indian Ocean, known for its pure natural beauty and clear beaches. This country has hundreds of coral islands spread across a wide area, but most of the land is only a few feet above sea level. With crystal clear water, soft white sand, and colorful coral reefs, Maldives is the perfect place for people who love the ocean and nature. The weather is warm all year and great for outdoor fun like diving, boating, and sunbathing. Maldives is not only a famous vacation spot, but also helps people understand climate change and why we must protect our oceans. Great Barrier Reef is the largest coral reef in the world stretching over 1,400 miles along the east coast of Australia. It was formed by millions of tiny coral polyps growing over thousands of years to create a huge underwater ecosystem. With an area of about 13,000 square miles, this reef is home to thousands of marine animals, like fish turtles, sharks, jellyfish, and colorful coral. Sunlight shines through the clear water, creating a sparkling and magical effect. Although made completely by nature, the reef's structure is like an underwater city with many complex layers. Mount Everest is in the Himalayas and is the tallest mountain in the world, with a height of about 29,032 feet above sea level. This place has very harsh weather, with freezing temperatures, strong winds, and thin air, only for people with special skills and health. The view here includes white snowy mountains, wide glaciers, and a clear blue sky. In 1953, two climbers, Edmund Hillary and Tenzing Norgay, were the first to reach the top of Everest, starting a new journey of world discovery. Visitors can go trekking on mountain trails to enjoy the views and feel the highland air. Not everyone can climb to the top, but just standing in this place is already a special experience. Chapada dos Veadeiros is an ancient plateau formed over 1,800,000,000 years ago, where quartz-rich geology creates a unique ecosystem and stunning landscape. Deep canyons, waterfalls hundreds of feet tall, and wide stone terraces are the result of millions of years of erosion and tectonic movement. On sunny days, light passing through mist creates rainbows in the forest, making the area feel magical. A strange feeling many visitors report is a slight vibration in their body when touching the rocks, believed to come from bioenergy in the quartz. Local legend says this is the place of a stargate, a connection between the human world and another dimension. The area is now strictly protected, limiting daily visitors and using the Leave No Trace rule to preserve Chapada dos Veadeiros' wild and mysterious beauty. Mutarazi Falls is the tallest waterfall in Zimbabwe with a height of over 790 feet, formed by geological faulting and millions of years of river erosion. The water falls straight from a high cliff into a deep gorge, creating a silver mist and echoing sound through the forest. In the morning, sunlight passes through the mist to form floating rainbows in the valley, turning the scene into a vivid, dreamlike painting. Many visitors say they feel weightless near the edge of the falls, where space feels stretched and time becomes strangely quiet. A local legend says Mutarazi is home to ancestor spirits, and the falling water is their whispering voices. The air The monastery was built on a cliff about 3,000 feet high, making it appear like it's hanging between the sky above and the deep valley below. There is no road for vehicles, so visitors must hike up steep mountain trails or ride horses to reach this isolated location. Even fit people often feel dizzy or sick at over 1,000 feet, where the air is thin and pressure drops sharply. This entire monastery was built by hand over 300 years ago, using no machines and working under extremely tough natural conditions. One legend says a holy monk flew here on a tiger and meditated for 3 months without food or any contact with the world. Locals believe if someone with an impure heart visits, they might get lost in the mountain mist and never find their way back. Meteora is a group of monasteries built on sandstone pillars, nearly 1,300 feet tall, making the whole site look like it's floating in the sky. In the past, there were no stairs or paths, and monks had to climb up and down using rope ladders or pulleys hanging in mid-air. A well-known saying said, "We only change the rope when it breaks," clearly showing the dangerous and extreme risk involved in living there. These monasteries were fully built by hand in the 14th century, on cliffs so steep that most people couldn't reach them by normal means. Every morning, when fog rises around the rocks, the entire area looks like a flying city, making visitors feel like they're in another world. Even though there are stairs now, many still choose to climb the rocks by hand, to challenge their faith, willpower, and personal courage. Cliff Village is one of the most dangerous places to live, built on a mountain wall nearly 1,000 feet high with strong winds and steep cliffs. To leave the village, people must climb hundreds of metal steps straight up the cliff, without guardrails, hanging in open air. Some people take more than 2 hours to go down, and nearly 3 hours to climb back up in extreme conditions. When the wind blows hard, the steel ladders shake and make sharp noises, feeling like you're walking into a trap in the sky. The village was cut off from the outside world for many years, with no electricity, running water, or phone signals. This village stands as living proof of human willpower and survival under harsh and dangerous natural conditions. Fugtal Monastery is one of the world's most isolated and stunning monasteries, built on a vertical cliff more than 13,000 feet above sea level. There is no road for cars, and people must hike many miles through high passes, deep canyons, and dangerous rivers to reach the site. The monastery looks like a beehive stuck to the rock, giving the feeling it's floating between the sky and the earth. Drinking water flows from a natural cave inside the cliff and has never dried up in hundreds of years, supplying the entire monastery. The entire structure was built by hand without modern machines, and all materials were carried over extremely difficult mountain terrain. This is not just a religious place, but a symbol of human faith, determination, and strength in the face of extreme nature. Saint-Michel-d'Aiguille is one of the most impressively located chapels in the world, built on top of a volcanic rock column about 280 feet high. There are no modern lifts, and visitors must climb over 260 stone steps carved directly into the steep side of the rocky peak. From a distance, the chapel looks like a stone crown placed on top of a giant finger reaching up to the sky. It was fully built by hand in the 10th century, without machines, in conditions that seemed impossible to construct anything at all. The rock where it stands is the ancient core of a volcano, millions of years old, adding a surreal touch to the entire site. Standing on the summit, with strong winds and endless views, visitors feel tiny yet connected to the sky with their bare feet. Majestic Pillar is one of the world's most unusual religious sites, with a natural limestone column about 130 feet high rising from the valley. On top of the narrow rock is an ancient chapel and a tiny living space for monks who live almost completely cut off from the world. There is no regular path, and people must climb a vertical steel ladder attached to the rock wall to reach the summit. The space above holds only a few simple buildings and has no electricity, running water, or any modern comfort. One monk even stayed up there for more than 20 years without coming down from the top. From far away, the whole structure looks like a sky tower floating between heaven and earth. Majestic Pillar is more than just a religious site. It is a symbol of deep faith, complete detachment, and the desire for something beyond the physical world. Garsadalur is one of the world's most remote and stunning villages, surrounded by towering sea cliffs over 2,000 feet high and endless ocean views. In the past, there was no road for vehicles, and people had to hike for hours over steep mountains just to reach the outside world. The village has only a few houses, and its population was once fewer than 20 people who still kept their old way of life. Its most iconic sight is a waterfall that flows straight from the cliff edge into the ocean, looking like something from a dream painting. The whole scene feels like a forgotten world, where the only sounds are waves crashing, winds howling, and water falling from the sky. Gasadalur is more than just a scenic place, it is a symbol of survival and peace in the harshest natural conditions. Svalbard Global Seed Vault is one of humanity's most powerful life protection projects, storing over 1 million seed samples from all around the world. The vault is built about 400 feet deep inside a mountain of permanent ice, keeping a steady temperature around -0.4 degrees Fahrenheit even during power loss. Its design looks like a cold gateway to the future, glowing with soft blue lights among Arctic snow and sky. Each seed sample is sealed and packed like a national treasure, and only the country that sent it can open or use it. In war, disasters, or global crisis, the vault can keep working without people being there all the time. In 2015, the vault was opened to return seeds to a land that had lost them because of war. Svalbard is not just a storage site. It is the backup copy of Earth's entire agricultural system in case something terrible happens. Petra is a one-of-a-kind rock city where ancient people carved hundreds of massive buildings directly into the cliffs. This city was created more than 2,000 years ago, not by using bricks, but by turning whole rock walls into homes, temples, tombs, and theaters. Its water system amazed scientists by moving water across the desert using stone pipes that stretched for miles. At its peak, more than 3,000 people lived here in the dry mountains, supported by an advanced and clever infrastructure. The color of Petra's stone changes with sunlight throughout the day, making the whole city seem alive and always moving. With its bright beauty and unreal structure, Petra stands as a symbol of ancient intelligence, creativity, and timeless human achievement. Hanging Temple is one of the most daring and surreal buildings in the world, built on a cliff about 250 feet above the ground. The entire structure is supported by wooden beams inserted deep into the rock face, standing strong for centuries without vertical pillars below. This temple uniquely combines three major Eastern religions: Buddhism, Taoism, and Confucianism, into one sacred and peaceful space. Narrow corridors and creaky wooden floors give visitors the feeling of walking between the sky and a deep drop below. The area around it is full of steep cliffs, strong winds, and nearly complete silence, creating a peaceful and dreamlike atmosphere. The temple's design is not only a symbol of faith, but also proof of brilliant ancient engineering in extremely dangerous terrain.